Hey, it's May here. I want to invite you to think back to a time when you had an either-or decision to make and it was a struggle. Whether it's, should I order chocolate cake or chocolate mousse for dessert, or something with a lot higher stakes like, should I stay in my current role or risk making a change? Now, these decisions are hard because one option is an option. Two options is a dilemma. But three options is a real choice. So whenever I'm facing either or, I always challenge myself to find what I call the third way. And here are 5 ways that you can look for your third way in these same situations. So the first one is to say yes to both. And this works really well when there are 2 good choices, like that chocolate mousse versus chocolate cake decision. Or maybe it's, should I buy a gym membership or should I take yoga classes? You can say yes to both, and that can work out really well. The second way is to choose the best of both. So this works really well when there are 2 different things that you're being faced with, 2 different choices. And this is what was facing A.G. Lafley when he took over as CEO of Procter & Gamble back in 2000. The company wasn't doing all that well, and one set of managers said, we got to cut costs to compete with the supermarket brands. The other set of managers said, no, we've got to spend money, innovate, and go high end. So what A.G. Lafley did was he chose the best of both. And he cut costs in some areas, and he innovated in other areas, and that was the beginning of the recovery of the company. A third way to find the third way is to turn things on their head, flip it. And this works really well when you feel powerless to change things. So the example I always think of is when my husband and I were buying a house, and we were bidding on houses sequentially. So we'd look at houses, choose one, and make a bid on it, make an offer on it. But that wasn't working very well for us because we kept getting outbid. So we got so furious that we became creative. And we said, hold on a second. Why are we following the sequential method? We ought to be bidding ourselves out as a hot commodity. So we put bids out on 4 different houses all at the same time, and we told all the realtors that whoever hit our bid first would get us as buyers. And we got a house really quickly after that. We moved in, it was all good. Now, the fourth way is to challenge your assumptions. And this way is really useful when you feel really sure that you know why certain things can't work or what boundaries exist. So maybe you're thinking, there's no way that our boss is going to approve this expenditure, or maybe it's, there's no way we could get this done in time. So whenever you are so sure about your assumptions, it's time to ask questions like, well, what if we could? What would need to be true in order for this to happen? And so when you do that, you open up all kinds of possibilities. And recently, my team and I had this big project to do. We got down to crunch time, and we thought we were going to have to spend all-nighters to get to the deadline. And instead, we started challenging our assumption, well, why is it that we have to spend all-nighters? Why are we the ones who have to do this? And that's when we had the brain flash that we could hire this temporary agency to help us out, which we did. They did a brilliant job, and nobody had to pull any all-nighters. Then the 5th way is to go back to common goals. Go find those common goals. And this works really well when you've got 2 different sides who have different viewpoints of what should be done. And back in the day, a colleague and I were both product managers, and we both covered the same set of corporate clients, but for our respective products. So when we put our strategies together for the year, mine favored my product, his favored his product, no surprise. But then we realized that we could win even bigger if we joined forces. And in order for us to sell this idea to our teams, we realized that we had to go back to a common goal that both our teams had. And that common goal was to do more business for the firm with these corporate clients. And so we built a 3rd strategy, a 3rd way, where each of us could hit our targets, the minimum targets, and then grow the size of the pie for the entire organization. We both got kudos and it turned out to be a win-win. So when you're faced with the either-or dilemma, then I invite you to also go search for your third way. And now I'd like to know, what kind of either-or choices are you facing right now, and how could you find a third way for yourself? Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you're watching this from anywhere other than my blog, head on over to maybusch.com/blog, and I look forward to welcoming you there. And now it's time to get out there and be bold, play big, and spark joy for yourself and everyone around you.